channel. Welcome back to the Mentorship Corner. My name is Sibiana Mtandazo, and if you are joining us for the first time, please click the subscribe button down below to join the Mentorship Corner family. On today's video, I am super excited. We actually get first dibs on a book that's going to be launching next year called The Curse of Athaliah. ATHALIA, by the way. And today I've got the honor of interviewing the two co-authors who are going to be telling us more about the book and how you can go about getting the book, guys. So to begin the interview, I'm actually going to open up the platform for the two authors to tell us a little bit more about themselves. So they'll do a quick introduction, tell us a little bit more about themselves, and then we'll start all the details about the book.
My name is Shariz Mudli, and I am one of the co-authors for The Curse of Athaliah. I'm also the founder and CEO of Future Experts. This is my third time here on this channel. So and I think one of my hobbies is reading thriller books, art. My favorite author is Mary Higgins Clark. So as you may have heard, I mentioned that my favorite genre is thrillers. So you'll know why I decided to write this book with you. Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Shailen Ramsaran, director of ASR Studios as well as Boss Industrial. My jobs are mostly branding and industrial sector. My hobby, I can say, is writing, definitely writing, as well as digital art.
Alright, so let's officially welcome them to the channel. Hi guys, welcome to the Mentorship.
Thank you.
Well, Shariz, as she said already, she's been to the channel 2 times already.
Yes.
I'm going to link the videos that we've had with her before on the up here. And then with, how do you pronounce her name? Shailen? Shailen, okay. Welcome to the channel, Shailen. So before we begin, I want to know, first of all, what inspired you guys to, 1, write the book, and 2, what inspired you guys to both partner up? So I already know that with him it's mainly because he's already a writer, but I want to know what inspired the partnership and also what inspired you guys to write this book.
I think it was the beginning of this year. The beginning of this year was around Feb, if I recall correctly. I wanted to write a Christian children's book. So I didn't know anything about the self-publishing route and so on. So I contacted a mutual associate of ours, and she actually referred me to Shailen, because he is quite familiar with the self-publishing route and so on. So then I contacted him, we chatted for a bit. He advised me on how to go about self-publishing on Amazon and so on. And then we were just chatting, like we were getting to know each other. So he said he would like to get to know me, and we said, okay, let's get to know each other, but on a professional level, as well as, we were beginning to form a friendship.
Yes.
So then during that time, he suggested that we should write a book together. And I'd never written a book with someone else, before. I'd never written any book for that matter. Okay, do you have a book? So no. So then I said to him, no, maybe at a later stage, we can talk about that again. Because in my mind I'm thinking, oh my word, he already wrote 2 novels, and how am I going to partner up with him? I've never written anything before. So then we didn't speak about that for a while. And he did not join the incubator at that time. So then it was around May where I contacted him again. We were chatting a lot during that period. So our friendship
basically.
During that period,
So then around May, I said, hey Shailen, are you still interested in doing a partnership, for the novel? And he's like, straight away, he's like, yes, no problem, let's do it. And then he said, but can we make it a horror? Because he loves horror. Oh my word, demons and spirits and all of this, come on.
I mean, you should pick the name, right?
So So then I said, okay, fine. You love horror, but I'm more into suspense and like psychology.
Yes. Yeah.
So we said, okay, fine. Let's collaborate and we can make it a psychological horror. Okay. Then we're discussing about that, and he said, okay, what should we base it on? And then I said, okay, let it be based on a seductive spirit.
Yeah.
Seductive spirit.
Okay.
A spirit that's lustful, manipulative, controlling, vengeful, make it like that, dark. Then I said, hey, there's a Bible character.
Oh gosh. So you guys.
You know which one it is?
No.
Okay, so I said, there's a Bible character, Jezebel.
Oh. Okay.
And then I said to him, let's name it, or let's put Jezebel into that.
I burst out laughing. I'm sitting in my room and I'm thinking, I just burst out laughing, like Jezebel, and then it took me to Peter Pan.
No. He said, oh my God. But he's very respectful and he's very polite. He doesn't just shoot something down or criticize when it comes to, he's not overly critical.
We actually worked and ran with Jezebel for quite some time until we figured that, you know what, we've got to certain scenes in this planning stage. And I'm like, this is going to make them laugh rather than feel scared. I mean, okay, put it this way. The character is like in his room in the dark, and then all of a sudden, like, you hear this character scream his name, Jezebel. That's not going. That was really okay. We need to do something.
Yeah, so then he sent me a message, said, can't we think of another name because it sounds like a fairy tale. Like a fairy tale. Yeah, so I researched more about Jezebel. I did some research, more about Jezebel, her background. And guess what? I found out that she had a daughter by the name of ATHALIA.
Oh, so then you guys decided to add ATHALIA instead of Jezebel.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's how it came.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And then so what inspired the partnership is basically the fact that one, you wanted to write, and two, he had already kind of initiated it low key. And from your end,
it was mostly, everything started off with that collaboration. You know, when writing ATHALIA, that was when we figured that if we can, we're able to work together this well in writing a novel, how would we work in creating a novel, creating a company, essentially.
Gotcha.
So when we've thought about it for quite a while, and then we said, okay, let's work something out. And eventually we created ASR Experts.
Gotcha. So then obviously that means that the partnership wasn't just about the book. It actually inspired you guys to become like business partners in a sense, instead of just co-authors.
But we didn't know it.
We didn't know at the time. It was just purely to write the book, the novel.
Gotcha.
Then we joined the incubator. That's how that whole partnership started with the company.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna save that and I'll ask about it going forward. All right. So now we know what inspired you guys to write the book. One, two, what inspired the partnership between the two of you. I want to know more about the book. So like, give us a bit of details without obviously telling us everything that people don't want to go by the book. Just like hints there and there, like what the book is about. And maybe you can share some of like your favorite characters in the book, and then move forward. Who's going first?
I start.
Yeah, because I'm sure the world is dying to know who's your favorite character.
From Jezebel.
Yeah, no, it was actually, this is actually inspired by a true story.
Don't say the word Jezebel 3 times, please. I sleep alone.
Yeah, the last thing we need is pixie dust.
No, I don't pick on Jezebel. So, the Curse of Athaliah is falls under the psychological horror genre.
Yeah.
And
Okay, wait. Before you continue, explain to me, because I don't like horror. When I think horror, I'm just thinking someone's dying, there's some demons, there's something happening. So explain like what is a psychological horror to someone who's at home, who's interested but who don't know what the genre is all about.
Okay.
Then you can continue.
If you want to explain that.
Psychological horror. It's all about mind games. It's mainly mind games. So it's a horror aspect of it, but how your mind will perceive certain instances that occur.
Gotcha.
So something that may seem like, okay, this is paranormal, may actually have, like, okay, let's say if a book flies off the shelf. Someone could have knocked it on the other end of the shelf, but because you're in a psychological, or a person experiences a psychological problem, they may experience it as a supernatural thing that pushed it off out of the shelf.
Yeah, so, well, okay, yeah, what Sharon is trying to say there is that there's a blur in this book between the supernatural and the psychological world, okay? So, you know, we each have, each of us have like a human psyche, you know, subconscious mind.
Yes, gotcha.
And based on certain traumas that we go through, childhood traumas, we all perceive things in a different way. So that's why in this book we are trying to create like a blur or between the supernatural aspect of things, how people who are more inclined to that, to viewing things in that manner, and people who are, you know, interested in the way things are in the science world, scientifically analyzing certain, you know, events in their life based on their subconscious mind and how they perceive things in a subconscious manner.
Gotcha. Yeah. So, if I'm getting it right, okay, I understand that part. So, is ATHALIA a spirit, or she's like
so,
a living being?
Okay, so let me just, I don't think I mentioned a bit more about the book itself.
Yeah,
okay?
no, but
you were explaining the genre.
Yeah, so with ATHALIA, I don't think we should really, we can't really tell you if she's a spirit or, because that's the kind of the plot.
Okay, cool.
The plot of the book.
Gotcha.
But it starts, the essentially what ATHALIA starts off is as a curse of supernatural, full on supernatural.
Gotcha.
But I don't think even, we haven't planned that far yet as to how it's going to progress.
Gotcha.
But so the novel is based mainly like on a haunting journey. We can say a bit on what it's about, but we won't give too much detail.
Don't give too much details, yes.
The novel is, as we mentioned, it falls under the psychological genre, but it's based on a haunting journey through generations in the Pereira bloodline.
Gotcha.
Now, this bloodline is plagued, so this bloodline is plagued by an ancestral curse, okay? And this ancestral curse basically casts a very sinister shadow on relationships, you know, between the characters, as well as their life trajectories, you know, the way their life is going, their path in life. Now, as the novel unfolds, you'll see each character in the novel grapples with a dark secret. Okay, dark secret. And so each character grapples with a dark secret, unraveling the hidden depths of the human psyche. That's where the psychological part comes in. We're exploring childhood trauma, the profound impact of abandonment, rejection in childhood, and how that has an impact in adulthood. The predetermined path forged by one's own parents versus forging one's own life path. Okay.
Oh, that's actually
And we also touch on the chilling reality of when certain characters, I'm not going to mention which character, but certain characters in the book, they are controlled and manipulated by their own parents, and we touch on the chilling reality based on that. The narrative delves into the unsettling complexities of family dynamics in the Pereira family, okay? Family dynamics where there's hidden secrets and an ancestral curse, as we mentioned, and how that shapes these characters' destinies. Okay.
And it also, so it also touches on a lot of, you know, South African lives as well. Like, in most cultures and most religions, your family dictates, okay, I want you to do this, you're going to do this.
Especially, like, that's just deep, okay.
But it's psychological.
It's psychological. So it's like, you know, some in a similar setting, it will affect us and children or youth psychologically
Yes.
if you are not allowed to express yourself and do what you want to do.
True.
So it's why we decided, okay, you know what, this is something real.
Mm.
Let's create a world around it. Throw some humor, throw some horror, throw some seductiveness,
Just
and
seductive.
and
Keep it interesting.
yeah. And you know, let's share a real life story in a tasteful way.
Love that. Share a
You
real
want
life
to tell
story.
me who's your favorite character since you pick on my favorite character?
So who's your favorite character? I didn't get that.
Gabriel, of course.
Okay. Okay. And you?
Michaela. My character is my favorite character is Michaela.
But that's your baby. You said that's your baby.
She's okay. She's a high school student, right? But since she let me have full control of that character, so I basically shaped her. So
She's definitely a baby.
it sounded a bit weird, but not in that way. But when it comes to the psychological aspects of it, like, you know, I know exactly how to get people to relate to this one particular character.
Gotcha.
So her experiences, and when you're reading those lines, it will feel as if you are actually Michaela in that book.
Yes.
And you know, she is my baby. I mean, like I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to her. I know I'm gonna make something bad happen to her.
Yeah, and you're probably gonna cry when that
I'm
happens.
gonna cry while writing it. I don't really cry,
He
but
gets emotional.
But I think with I feel like with the depth that you guys are actually pouring into the book, I'm already like, because I feel like I can already relate so much from just hearing you guys share about the book. I can only imagine like writing it out, you know?
it's writing it, and from a writer's and reader's perspective, I don't think many readers, most of them appreciate the writer's work,
Yes, true.
whereas
True.
some readers read it for the sake of reading the book.
True.
It's when you really look in between the lines at what the writer is trying to say. That is when you really understand what's happening in the writer's mind and what they're trying to get at in that chapter or in that character. So I think we also, with our characters, we're trying to get people to, you know, appreciate a book for being a book. You know, being this movie inside your head. So
Yes.
we're sparing no details. We're trying to make it in depth and detailed as possible. So when you're reading it, you can actually see these things in your head,
Gotcha.
rather than just buying a
reading
book
for
and
sake.
finishing a book.
Yeah, and that's why we also created those character reveal,
Yes,
videos.
so
Yeah.
those are pretty cool.
Yeah, just to give
Scary
like a
though.
visual effect, add a visual effect to these characters.
And I think that makes a big difference because apart from just, I read a lot, like I'm like an avid reader and I like sci-fi, just no horror. As I said, like I'm a hopeless romantic, but like when the author actually gives you like a picture, like, you know, like of the character, it makes a huge difference when you actually read in the book. I'm one who would like read a book and then once author like maybe releases like maybe like some pictures or like some scenes and stuff, I'll go back and reread the book. So I appreciate it a lot better because obviously I have my imagination, but then like when you actually add all of that, it makes a hell of a
And
difference.
3D.
Yes,
Yeah,
it does.
the 3D.
It does. It's like a 3D effect to your movie.
It gives you like a whole new way of reading that book.
Exactly.
You know, like you can now see, okay, this is what's happening.
Definitely. So moving on to our next question. So we got that your favorite character is Gabriel.
Yeah.
I'm assuming he's a guy.
But
Yes.
okay,
Of course
well,
it's a
I'm torn between Xavier and Gabriel.
You
so-
get to choose.
Yeah, I can't choose. I can have both.
AI,
I can.
in creating, with the creation of these using AI, I think in Sharice's case, it's very limiting. For example, there's certain extent
Images.
to an image that you can't have necessarily, which is the downside. For example, because I know she drooled.
Oh my god, that's where you're getting at.
Yeah. So AI, it's censored.
Okay.
Right.
What if I do meet someone that actually looks like Gabriel and he's Portuguese? I'm just saying.
Then,
No comment.
And the book gets released in Portugal. I'm just saying.
now we know where she's headed. You know where she's headed.
You
Yeah.
see? Oh god.
So okay. So what you're trying to say
A
is
girl that
essentially
can
this
fantasize.
this book is one. It just us writing this book is one big hint at whichever guy.
that she's gonna show eventually.
Gabriel Pereira. Imagine Cherise Pereira.
She's getting married to a book character.
Okay, let's move on.
Hectic. All right, next question is, what did you learn when you wrote the book? You can give us one lesson if you learned one. If you learned more than 3, pick your top 3.
Okay, share
No,
it.
there was many lessons, and so it's not only lessons about the different settings of writing a book. It's more like lessons we've learned amongst ourselves.
About each other.
So I think the most important lesson is that we actually learned we can adapt as companies. So it went, as I said, from writing a book to building a company. We learned that if we're doing the novel so well, how would we function if we do another aspect of it? Let's try and help people. So it started off with, you came and approached me to helping people, and you suggested, why don't we help other people to publish a book?
Gotcha.
So we got into thinking, and we're like, that's definitely something we can do. We can publish another person's book. And from there we said, okay, how can we make this more professional? Which then began this entire journey from start to where it is now on ASR Experts. And that's how the entire company was born. It was created from a book, our learning to work together, adapt together.
Yes.
Sure, we've had our times. I mean, she's a stress ball.
I was gonna say exactly that.
But
No offense.
I'm the one that's
Guys,
mostly-
don't listen to him, please.
They're going to listen to me. I'm the one that's I've got a challenge. I can overcome this. All I need to do is just work. It's a challenge. You adapt. You work with it.
Yeah, I'm an overthinker.
It's a challenge. I'm stuck here and I'm gonna stay here.
No, but I do overthink a lot of things, but that did help. Remember, I did say to you, hey, you know what, can we use the name Pereira? Let's Google and see if that name is taken. Can we use the Curse of Athaliah? My overthinking helps.
Yeah. So how overthinking actually
Make it
created.
good though.
It actually created. Yeah.
I do my research
She
before
did.
that.
The one good thing about this part of ASR Experts is that, is that the research is really it's in depth. It's thorough. So
Because I cannot sleep unless I know, hey, are we on the right track? I can't sleep if I don't know that,
and then she'll message me.
And
At
remember
any
the
time.
Portuguese part, I said, hey, we actually need to learn the Portuguese culture. We learn, yes,
Yeah.
the food,
Yeah.
Lisbon, all these
So
places there.
it's also like
The
learning
heritage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
to learn the culture, learn the language, because I
Yeah.
think there's another part that I'm doing is actually putting
The
Portuguese
language
language
part.
into the book.
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say that'd be so cool.
So
So
see,
it's-
my overthinking helps in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll forgive you for being stressful. Just now, just for this, eh?
Your overthinking also left the character stranded between 2 airports.
Oh, don't go. Okay, do you want to tell Naomi that?
Yeah, I'm going to tell
I
Naomi that
know.
part. Right, so obviously with the collaboration in the
Oh my
novel,
word.
we found out it's better to, if each of us take a chapter,
Uh-huh.
let's say for example there's 6 chapters, we each take 3. Right? So my chapter starts with the characters leaving an airport and going to a new house.
No, it starts arriving at Oatambu.
And that is where the confusion took place the first time. Right. The characters were at the airport. Right. They had to get to the airport.
And I said to him, this was actually the misunderstanding. We are actually going back to that misunderstanding.
Yeah.
Okay, reliving that moment.
That moment in which we both
Yeah.
pulled our heads.
So I said to him, it was a Tuesday morning. It was early, around 7 a.m. Yeah. And I said to him, so your chapter starts when your characters just enter OR Tambu. So the plane landed at OR Tambu and they're there, okay? They've stepped into that airport. My chapter ends with them at the airport in Portugal, okay?
Okay.
Then I assumed he would know that of course I'm going to mention in my chapter the whole scene with with them being in the plane.
No,
They're
so
still
it's-
being in the plane.
Yeah, it was the in-between
Their
part. of that
dialogue,
confusion.
you know, with one another in the plane
Yes,
and all
yes,
of that.
yes.
I assumed he would know that. Sorry, then he said to me, what did you say?
I said, right, are we not going to have the scene with the people in the airplane?
Then I said, do I need to spell it out to you?
Yeah, that's exactly how she said it.
Do I need to spell it out to you? Because of course I'm gonna mention it, you know.
No, the thing that it got complicated because she said they're in Spain and then
No,
they're
not
all
Spain,
time. They're in Portugal. Yeah, in Portugal. Yeah, and then the next thing they in Tampa. I'm like, okay, what about the in between? They just got there.
What happened to all hours?
Yeah. So there was no way in between that. Okay, I'm gonna say the journey.
And I'm rolling my eyes now while typing. Do I need to spell it out to you? And then he said, stop making me cry early on a Tuesday morning.
Gosh,
It was
please.
before 8 o'clock.
Cherise, come on.
I've never got my coffee.
And you're really stressing him out. Oh,
So that's
gosh.
what we learned about each other.
Is that just on one hand there's detail, on the other hand there's okay, now what?
And that's where he labeled me. That's when he labeled me as stressful.
It's stressful.
Oh, wow. So you learned.
So-
Okay, I'm only picking up one lesson, and the second one is basically learning to work together and to collaborate. And I guess so you learned about your personalities and how to adapt your personalities into like working together. I love that.
So he is laid back as
He's
you
very
know.
calm.
And
Like,
calm.
he's very chilled.
I am feisty.
You are the stressful. She's like a ticking time bomb.
Exactly.
Balance each
So
other out.
It's fine. And then you guys learned adaptability for like the businesses and obviously like working together. Did you learn any other lesson writing the book? Did you guys learn any lessons like individually, personally? Because what I feel like the book, it touches a lot on psychology. So like as you said, like it touches on childhood traumas, experiences, family relationships, like relationship with your family, your parents, your siblings, and all of that jazzy jazz. Did you guys learn any personal lessons from the book?
Yes, I did, but I don't want to get into details of that because then you're going to know a bit too much about me, and I would like to add a bit of mystery.
It's okay. Maybe you can.
So putting in this book, we put a piece of our lives into the book, so it makes it a bit more personal for us.
Relatable.
And I think it also makes it relatable because obviously, like, for example, in South Africa, a lot of people would be able to relate to that.
Yes.
And you?
I know a lot of people, your family would want to push you into something else.
Mm-hmm.
If your family, works together with their child, they actually have this amazing ability to actually grow and develop them and create something new. Like for example, with me, I can say this because it is nothing really in the book. I've done many things that my family wanted me to do, and none of it really ever worked out.
Gotcha.
Until they said, okay, I want to do, what do you want to do? They gave me control of what I want to do, and I said, okay, I want to do filmmaking.
Yes.
So they said, okay, we went ahead with that. And then they said, okay, I want to write a novel. It started off with a novel, so I literally woke up one morning, 2019, and I said, I want to write a novel. Well, I said, okay, what do you want to write? I wrote, and they looked at it, and she's like, there's no way you wrote this.
Sure.
I wrote it. My godmother, she helped me, with the final part of it. We published it, and people in my family had no idea that I had this talent.
You see.
And it's from the book and from my first novel that inspired my entire career as ASR Studios. And it's through letting me be me and not control me that I was able to explore and actually build myself up, build a career, and continue to work with me rather than with someone else.
I love that. Well, I think it goes back to, I feel like parents should stop trying to live their dreams through their kids. Because I feel like that's what pushes them to actually force you to like certain career paths, which unfortunately like you don't work out.
No.
Because that's not what you are invested in. That's not what you are passionate about. Sure, that's quite deep. Anyway, moving right along. But you guys already answered this one. How you decided on the book title?
Yeah.
She liked Jezebel from the Bible. And did a bit of overthinking research.
Yeah.
And then she discovered
ATHALIA is such a beautiful name.
It's
What does it
beautiful.
mean?
It
Yeah.
does have a biblical meaning to it.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
I think one of you mentioned it is like half good, half bad.
Yeah, I did
Which is
mention
why we
something
chose
like
ATHALIA,
that.
you know, half of the good and half of the light, half of
Yeah.
the dark.
Because when
It's
I
like
did
the
the
yin and the
The
yang.
yin
research,
and the yang.
yeah, when I did the research about her biblical character,
Uh-huh.
it did say that she was manipulative, controlling, just like her mother.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So, you guys, I feel like we've answered most of the questions. Because the next one is, no, I think it's because of the flow of the
Yeah.
conversation.
It's going somewhere.
Because the next question is, are the characters inspired by real people? And you guys just said that
Yeah.
one, they're inspired by like biblical characters,
Yeah.
but you guys actually poured out a part of
Mhm.
your lives into the book,
Yeah.
which makes it relatable to
We
real
made
life
it like a
people.
universal human
Yeah.
experience because
Mm.
most of us go through childhood trauma. We
Yes,
go
yes.
through, having to decide whether our paths should be forged by our own parents or by us.
Mm.
Taking back our control.
Yes.
What else?
Yeah.
Letting go of the past, and if you are holding on to the past, that the impact it has. The profound impact of abandonment, especially in childhood, when kids go through, kids are abandoned by one parent and how that affects them in adulthood and their relationships going forward. So, yeah.
But I think to answer the question in a literal sense, the characters you see in our character description videos, those are powered by AI. So it's not like we can find an actual person to play the character.
Yeah,
So
you never know.
AI.
You may find an actual character to play Gabriel that looks like that.
In
I was about to say,
theory,
she's just convinced.
she's
She's gonna find
going there.
Gabriel and she
Yeah.
goes to Portugal.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that
Never
was
give up hope.
the whole aim. Of the whole aim of this YouTube channel is to find Gabriel.
Yeah.
So if you're a Portuguese man, preferably with big arms, abs,
Biceps.
yeah,
And Christian,
and Christian.
please reach out.
Reach that way.
There's a lady in me.
There's a lady in me.
He did say he was gonna find me a match. There you go. You're
Yeah.
putting it out
We
there.
it's out there. It's out there.
Yeah. So,
What surprised you guys the most about writing the book? Apart from the company, because I feel like that was a big one.
That was a big one. I think that was the most
Yeah.
surprising factor.
Yeah.
How well,
You guys
even with our differences, how well we connect and work with each other.
Yes.
But for me, what surprised me about this book is to actually learn a bit more about Christianity, because I'm a Hindu. So in writing this book,
that's
and I'm looking at it from a Christian perspective, we can see the similarities. It's more like, what my book will say and what her book will say. Of course, it's going to be in two different ways, but the similarities is actually quite striking.
Yeah,
In
it
terms
is.
of, we'd say, like, as we mentioned, if something goes bad, we'd say that something done something,
Mm.
which is quite fun in both religions.
That's
what we,
true.
so
That's true.
I think that's something that quite shocked me, is that no matter what religion you are, you're most likely the same.
It is
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah.
It is. It is.
what surprised me was that you are really calm and you just accept what I say. And you don't get angry. You don't get upset.
It's because I know when you're gonna say something and you want to put it in this book. I know for a fact that you're gonna want to do this. I know I can adapt to it and work on it in my stuff. So it's that adaptability that I have as a trait, but it's also working with you as a partner. That sense of adaptability, like you can say something, okay, I can pull it off. I trust that will work out.
And we don't actually
essentially
have
always works out.
arguments though.
Oh.
We don't have arguments. We just have this minor disagreements, and he laughs it off, and then I
she
laugh it
stresses
off.
it off.
I was gonna say that she overthinks the whole thing, and then
And then he calms me, so
If she
we
had,
gel
But I
well
think-
together.
you know what I'm picking up from like just speaking with you guys? You guys actually trust each other's opinions,
yeah.
and I think that made a big difference in the
Yes,
partnership
it
working.
Yeah. Originally, it was just supposed to be one book, which is just The Curse of Athaliah. The second book came up when Cherise gave me a storyline that didn't quite fit with this book. But we thought about it and we said, okay, there's a way we can make it work in another book. And then that's when we said, okay, you know what, I think we've just discovered we're doing a sequel. Yeah, once book one, the Dark Secret, is launched, we probably will work on a second. I mean, we definitely are working on a second. In between, obviously, because I think Stress Ball's idea is like just keep flowing.
Stress ball.
The ideas just keep flowing, and we don't want to really confine it. So if you can't fit it in one, why not fit it in the other?
Alright guys, so that marks the end of our interview. I just want to say thank you so much guys. Firstly, just for trusting the Mentorship Corner to actually do your first interview as co-authors. I'm wishing you guys nothing but the best going forward. Excited for the launch. I'm hoping you guys will do sort of like Halloween
Definitely.
theme party type vibes.
Yeah.
I think I have an outfit already.
He already planned the launch party. You already planned it.
Oh no, I'm ready
It's
for
going
that.
to be full on Halloween.
Thank you.
Seductive Halloween. I mean,
Gotcha.
we put it in the book, we might as well put it in the lawn.
Thank you. Amen. Alright, so please don't forget to subscribe, guys. Click the subscribe button down below, and they're gonna quickly tell you their social media handles, and then please go and follow to keep up with all the updates for the book, and obviously everything that's going to happen closer to the launch.
Their handles, we just put it somewhere there.
Alright, perfect.
Thank you, Nomi, for having us here on your channel.
Oh yes, I love you so much.
Completely forgot about these. You keep them on one.
Okay.
So this is my first novel, Two Worlds, A Glass Cage. This is based on women and children abuse in South Africa, and it has an ending that no one would expect. I mean, for a first-time author, it was quite. And it's got an ISBN number, so it's completely registered. And the one that Cherie's got there is Forest of Old. That's purely fantasy fiction based on Greek mythology. So you can have a look at that.
You said Greek mythology.
Greek mythology.
I read a bit of this at the exhibition. This is really good. Two Worlds.
So that actually has a bit of Greek language in there.
Ah.
So which is why, like, when it came to the Curse of Athaliah and putting the Portuguese language, I said, like, oh, okay, I've done it before with Greek. I can do it with Portuguese. So.
That's really cool. Alright, so guys, there you have it. Go follow them on social media. He's got 2 books already. Go and buy those books. And of course, save up your coins for the launch party, and of course to buy the books when they launch. Love you guys.